Simu sinatla. Simu sinatla. Ilina ka 2021 ke tsere ke sinatla. And this is the long-awaited podcast about my marriage journey.
All right. Thikha, what was your first impression of Mo?
My first impression of a hubby. So, first year university, orientation time, right? I'm part of this day raise, and he's a senior. So there was an event, like a quiz night type of event, and we're chilling with my friends at that time, and these group of guys just walk in. So his friends are quite loud, outspoken people. So they get in, they're commanding the room. So I just look and I'm like, oh, okay. Find out they're seniors. I think he was 2 years ahead of me. And I'm like, okay, cool. Now people start coming to me and they're like, hey, you and that guy are dressed the same. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, oh, what a coincidence. Another person comes to me. Another person comes. So then I'm like, okay, let me look at this guy. Look at this guy. And I'm like, what a gorgeous, gorgeous man. What a gorgeous man. And I'm laughing because it was illegal. Because at that time I was in a relationship. But I just admired him like, oh, he looks cool. Okay, fine. So now people are also going to him. They're coming to me. So now it's getting a bit, it's like, I don't know, are they trying to set us up? What's going on? I'm like, I walk up to him. I'm like, hi. He's like, hi. I'm like, we're just the same. He's like, yeah, so I've been told. I'm like, so my phone, I think we should take a picture because like we're dressed the same and it's quite a coincidence. And like my phone is giving me problems. Can we use your phone? And he's like, okay, shots. I'll actually put the picture somewhere here. And then I take his phone. We take a couple of selfies and I give him his phone. And I'm like, so how am I going to get the pictures? He looks at me, he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, don't you need to like send them to me? And Bluetooth, it won't work. My phone is problematic right now. So he's like, okay, so I give him my numbers and I'm like, okay, you'll send the pictures, we'll send the pictures. And yeah, so I guess I had game, but yeah, that was my first impression. I was charmed and I just went for it. And to the guy I was with at the time, it's all in good fun.
Also, so that means you were the first one who was interested?
No, I just saw a cute guy. Everyone was vibing, so I was like, let me just vibe. It was a vibe. It was a vibe. Okay, so after that, maybe if I finish the story, you'll understand. Okay. After that, he sends me the pictures. I'm like, okay, thanks. Then it's, hi, how are you? Good, and you? Then the next day, it's also, hi, how are you? Good. So I'm like, hi, guys, I laid game the first day. There's no way I must go in. So I'm just like, it's fine, let's let it go. So then it's quiet waters, it's quiet. I'm still dating my guy. And then, but this guy, he used to drive this red Mercedes that we still own right now, love it. So he used to drive that. And every time he would pass me while I was walking, he would stop and be like, hey, where you going? I'm like, no, I'm going home. He would give me a ride. But in the car, his friends were always there. So then he would go drop off his friends and then go drop me off, right? But then because this guy was quiet and wasn't saying anything, I was like, chances are he's not interested. He's just a good guy. Because he just drops off his friends and he's like, no, I live around where you live. It's cool. Like, let's go. Then he drops me off in the car. It's normal conversations. Where are you from? What do you do? The general stuff. So it was just quiet after that. And we were like just acquaintances and it was cool. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then how did we get here? Okay. So then I think 2 years run by, we're acquaintances, we talk here and there, we go, I see him at church, he gives me a lift to church, we have a conversation. So now I'm going through something with the guy I'm with. And then as I'm going through something, I'm like, okay, what's one guy that I actually trust and I've spoken to him and he seems like he's going to give me like an honest answer. It's him. And I sort of concluded that he's not interested. So I was like, let me give him a call. I'm like, hey, dude, I need some advice on something. It's very important to me. I need to talk to you. So I sit him down, and then as I sit him, okay, there's about to be a did I overshare moment right now. So I sit him down, we're sitting in the car, and he's like, yeah, what's up? I'm like, okay, I've been going to church, and, I'm ready to give my life to God, to Jesus, and I want to go celibate. The problem now is that I'm with this guy, and as I'm with this guy, I don't know how to tell this guy, because this guy is not, like, as religious or as Like, he's not a church guy, so I don't know if he's gonna understand. And I know it's gonna end the relationship. Do you think I should just end the relationship, or should I like tell him we should give it a try? So I'm thinking, in my head, I'm also thinking, if this guy likes me, he's gonna say, end the relationship. He doesn't deserve you. Follow God. And that's what I'm thinking. No, not this guy. This guy's like, no, man. I mean, give him a chance. I think just sit him down, talk to him. If he really loves you, he will understand what's happening, and you guys can make it work, I'm sure. And you seem like you're really into this guy. The fact that you want advice and stuff. So just do it. And I'm just there like, okay, this guy doesn't like me at all. It's fine. And then after that, it was December, the end of the year. I was moving back home because I was having quite a tough time in Free State because that's where I was studying. I moved back home. When I moved back home, I came to the Northwest University and I closed that chapter with the guy that I was with. I'm like, okay, I'm going to focus on myself. I'm going to focus on God. I'm going to focus on that. Then January, I'm in Port. I'm registering. I get a call. I'm like, hi. Can you hear who it is? I'm like, who's this on my phone? He's like, it's the guy you trust the most. I'm like, what? I'm like, who am I talking to and what's happening? Then he's like, oh, it's Mo. At that time, there was like a group of friends I was hanging out with in December, and there was a Mo. I was like, I am so sorry, but I don't mean to offend you, but which Mo is this? Because I know another Mo. So he tells me, Mo from Free State. I'm like, oh, hi, what's up? He's like, no, I'm in your hometown, Carltonville, and I thought, like, just to say hi to you. And I'm like, you're in Carltonville? That's strange. I'm like, oh, I'm in Port, so I can't see you. He's like, okay, I can't come to Port, so yeah, shots, he's gone. So now I have his number, and I'm like, let's just explore what could have been. Because I'm in Port, he's in Free State, there's no way it's going to work. I'm like, let's explore what could have been. So I'm now chatting to him, like, how was your day? How was your what? It goes cold again. Then some random day, I just say to him, I send him a message saying, it's okay. He's like, what's okay? I'm like, you know what? Sharp. On that day, I was like, my producer is side-eyeing me so bad.
You?
But on the day, I was like, what's with this guy? Like, does he like me? Does he not like me? What's going on? So that it's okay was me saying, you know, I'm done. It's fine. Let's lay to rest, you know. I guess it didn't work. So he's like, what's okay? And I'm like, whatever it is, like, it's fine. Then it led to a conversation of him trying to figure out what it is. And then we started talking. And then I think eventually I said, what's up? Like, what's going on? And then he's like, no, I like you. And I'm like, oh, then I like you too. Then he's like, okay, then I'm going to come for a date. And I'm like, yeah, come for the date. And then, yeah. So that question, who was interested first, it's layers. It has layers. No, it can't be me.
But we can conclude.
It has layers.
Please
Yes.
write in the comments, guys. Write the truth. Write the truth. Okay, so with these many layers, the next layer is who wants to get married first?
Want to get married
And I think
first.
we all know. But let's just
No!
tell us.
Story says it bias. All I'm saying is, it's fine. Now we're dating. We're happy, right? We're in a long distance relationship. I'm also getting time to focus on myself. He's giving me that space. We're happy. Keep in mind also, I was Miss Pageant Girl at that time also. I wanted to do pageants. I was into that thing. Then we're getting closer. He got a job closer to Carltonville. And then when he got the job closer, obviously we started seeing each other more regularly. COVID hit. When COVID hit, I said to Abazali Bam, you know him, he's a great guy, we're doing well. Can I please go, what was it called, quarantine? You know, and my mom was like, no, shots, it's fine. I know you guys are well behaved. I trust him, I trust you, you can go. So then I went, so there we spent some time there, and his mother was also over there as well. So we got to learn about him through the mom, through him, and it was nice. It was like a harmonious house, no fights, very nice. So then after that, he said something just in passing. He's like to me, I just want you to know, when you're ready, I'm ready to get married to you. I go, huh? Because he said it in passing, like so random, like I'm ready to get married to you if you're ready. So then I get anxious and I'm like, no, but I have to win Miss South Africa. I have to do pageants. I have to do this. And at that time, Miss South Africa you had to be single. You shouldn't be married. So I'm like, I've got all these goals. He's like, no rush. I understand. I'm just letting you know that I have found you and I'm happy with you.
Yes, Lord.
And then I was like, oh, okay, that's sweet. That's nice. So in that thing, it's him. You see, he was interested first. He wanted to marry me first, but I wanted to marry him too. I just had goals that I wanted to accomplish. What's next?
We hear you. We hear you. We hear you. Okay, so you got married quite young, right?
I think, how old I was 20, it was 2021, so I think I was 23, yes, 23, 24. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and what was it about getting married young? What shocked you? Getting into the whole marriage thing, what did you realize about marriage being so young?
You see this question of like, I got married young. The thing is with me, I struggle to answer it because my thing is, what is young? Because I was 24, so I was basically into my adulthood. And I believe getting married young is like 19, 18, 19, in your teenagers, and then maybe 20. But after 21, I feel like I wasn't that young because thinking back at when our parents got married, like my mom got married at 19. So for me, I didn't feel quite young. So I struggled to answer it. But if I had to look at maybe what my peers were doing at that time, if that's based on that, then yes, it was quite young, I guess. But for me, I just got to a point where I think we both wanted to start building our lives, and it was challenging because we were living in two separate households. It was hard to make a decision with him to say that, for example, if he wants to move to a different town, does he now not move because of me? But now Rajola, and everything that we do has to go through my parents. But can I please go visit him? Can I please go? So now it's like we felt like we were in a position where we wanted to start building together, wanted to start acquiring assets, making life decisions together about where we live and what's happening. And then, yeah, at that time, it felt like I was at the right age, at the right time to get married. Although I was studying, I was doing a postgraduate degree, which then it also felt like that's just a plus. I have a degree. And I was like, yes. And I was having an internship at the time, so there was a bit of money coming in. So at that time, it didn't feel young. But then my biggest shock for me, and people say it, they say when you get married, you now get a new family, and that's your family, and you've got a bigger family. For me, the shock was I got married December 16. Now they welcome me into the family. And then I go, and then it's Christmas. I'm used to my mom, my dad, my siblings and stuff. Now I'm being told, I'll see, Christmas more. I'm like, oh, okay, that's it. And for me, it was a shock because then that's when the realization hit that you are now really starting to build your life. You are now starting to do your things. Aside from your parents and your family, now it's about you building this bond with your new family and these new people and creating your new traditions. And I remember on Christmas, because we just got out of a wedding, so they didn't do a Christmas thing because we just got out of a big wedding from their side of the family. So it was just the immediate family at home. So knowing my family dynamics, there's a lot of us. There's 4 of us. Each of us have partners. There's nieces, nephews and stuff. So we're from a bigger family. So I remember there was a time I was sitting in the bedroom and the house was quiet. And I was going through my sister's statuses. And I was not in any of the pictures. Like there were sibling pictures, there were pictures with my grandmother, pictures of my mom, and I was not in any of those pictures, and I was so emotional. So for me, the biggest shock was the one thing that I wanted was to start my own thing, is not realizing that I had to let go of other things that I loved and that I enjoyed at that time. So for me, that was the biggest shock and the biggest wow, Kinyet, really, wow, yeah.
So what is it that you love about Mo right now? What do you love the most about Mo?
Oh. What is it? Man, I don't know if I feel selfish for this, but I feel like it's made me appreciate and love him more, but that man supports me. He's a good man. He's a good man. Like, whatever dream or little thing or big thing that I have, he will be there cheering me on. I mean, I just decided out of nowhere I'm going to start playing netball. And he was at every netball game. And keep in mind, when I started, I was in the lowest team. I was still Tanazeling. I wasn't the star player, but he would be there and watch my 1 hour game. When I get off the field, he would sit there with me and give me a game plan and be like, "Wabona baby, let's strategize. If you go there and you run like this, you'll get the ball." There were times I'd get off the court and I've got blisters and I'm crying, and he would like, comfort me, say words of encouragement. And this was even throughout our dating. He came to all my beauty pageants. He was the one that was even driving me to my beauty pageants to make sure I got there on time. So for me, the one thing that I love and I appreciate the most is just the way he shows his love by just being there for me throughout anything. So that's the one thing that's my favorite thing about him.
Lona sa jole mos le ratana lona.
Re ba rata. Dude, that makes me think of when like the letter arrived and my mom calls me in and she's like, "What's this?" I was having a moment earlier. I can't know what's that song. Yeah, that song in Zulu that says, "My mom and dad leave me alone. I love him." It just reminded me of that time when I had to tell my mom that no, in daughter first, ma.
Well, in that note, tell us what you don't like about him.
But I don't like. Let's start off by saying he's a good man. He's a good man. One thing that like sort of ticks me off, I don't say I don't like it because it's a good and bad thing. Like, but I'm a spender. Like I spend, like when I have money, it already has plans. The minute it hits my hands, it's got plans, whether it be for coffee, it be shoes, but I'm a spender. Like spending money makes me feel so happy and so appreciated and so loved. And considering if I had worked hard for it, it makes it worse because I want to spend it more because it has to feel like it's worth it. But my man is a budgeter. He's a budgeter. He's a person that has an Excel sheet, and the Excel sheet basically breaks down the incomes. We have predictions. We even have previous's. We've got bar graphs. We've got pie charts. And for me, it was strange because I'm like, and I think the first part of our marriage was us now merging our finances. And in that, I would get so anxious and antsy and angry every time we were discussing money. And he didn't understand why. So that was our biggest, like, quarrel in terms of like coming together. It was us talking about money. And it's not that he was like strict about you're not buying this. It's just like coming into terms with my spending habits and being honest with how I'm spending money and how reckless I am. And also looking at the things that I'd like to have and things I'd like to accomplish. But the way I'm spending money, for me, it was like a mirror reflection and it would offend me. So for me, I think the one thing that sort of ticks me off a bit is how he's not reckless about money. Because sometimes we have a budget and I'm like, baby, just like, let's just do it, man. We're sad. There's a week left before month end. Ay, man, I am saving. I know Banachal. It won't show. It's not that bad. So I think, yeah, just that lack of spontaneity when it comes to finances. That's the only thing that's like we're still figuring out. But other than that, he's taught me a lot about finances, and yeah.
How did you resolve it? Generally, how did you resolve that? How do you resolve your resolvings of conflict?
Okay, so the financial one first. So now we sat down and we agreed with our finances, we're going to take both us. And it's something that I think, is it Steve Harvey? Yes, Steve Harvey. I was about to describe him. And I was going to say the guy, what she's got. Okay, let's leave that. But yeah, Steve Harvey said something in the lines of that, and we were doing it even at that time. But the idea was to merge our finances. So if you earn 5 rand and I earn 6 rand, we would join those monies and then we both earn 11 rand. So the rule was never, I earn 5 rand, I earn 6 rand. It was like, this household earns this amount. Then we sit down, then we allocate it to the different things, and then we have our allowances. And then with your allowance, you can be as reckless as you want. No questions asked as to what you're spending on, what you're doing. So I think that allowance of it's your money, do your thing, allowed me to just be able to spend on the things that I like without having to explain myself, while still being savvy in terms of we have savings and we have paid all our bills and we have money towards our goals and things we like to achieve. And then I think your other part was how we resolve conflict in general.
Yeah.
Yo, guys. This reminds me of a time, when the relationship is fresh and you're also the girl and you're still like, I'm the girl. And then you guys get into like a spiff, like something small. Did I not be the dominant woman I am and raise my voice? Did my man not look at me and go, I'm not talking to you until you talk to me properly? And I'm like, and we're still boyfriend and girlfriend there. So I'm like, what do you mean? I'm just expressing how I feel. He did not respond to me until I calmed down. And I said, okay, baby, this and this and this and this and this. And then from that moment, I think I unlearned some of the bad habits that I had. And from that moment, I knew that if I want a response from him, I need to speak to him with like a decent tone, using decent words. So he was well way within his emotional maturity before I was, because I came in hot. And I think from that, I started learning that we're in this together. So the whole point is we're not fighting against each other, we're fighting against the issue, right? So if the issue, for example, in this case was finances, whenever we had a spiff about it, it wasn't about me, it wasn't I'm a bad person, I'm a bad spender, and I'm right and you're wrong. It was this problem about finances affects both of us. So let's see what's the best way to resolve the issue. So from that instant, that's how we started to learn to handle our conflict. The first thing was understanding that it's the issue and there's us. And there will always be us against the issue and not us against each other. And I think once I learned that, it made the fight easier. However, there are moments where I think it also comes with being the youngest. I'm more of an avoidant style, which means whenever we're arguing or something is happening, I need time to process what's happening before I speak, while he, on the other hand, would like to address the issue right now. So when those things happen, you'd find that I'd end up basically just not answering what he's saying, or I'll just go isolate somewhere. At first it was challenging, but then I explained to him that for me, I'm quite an emotional person, and sometimes when I speak in the moment, it won't be encouraging or building in any way. So it's basically us just hurting each other, and it's not going to be effective or productive. Yeah. So then we learned that, okay, when something happens, we do sort of take, not a day, but like you take an hour or so to process it. You even let the other person know to say, I need time to process. And then I'll come back to him and then we'll discuss the issue. And I'd like to say, like, you'll never see us fighting blatantly, like yelling at each other or something. It's more of a discussion. We sit down and then we say, I didn't like when you did this. It made me feel that way. And then you respond with, oh, I also felt this way. And then us trying to find a way to figure it out. And I mean, we also have this conclusion that whenever there's a problem, it is both our faults, because it's how I acted and then how you reacted that can provoke me. So, for example, with the finances, if maybe I'm very secretive about finances and then he asks me about it, then I would say, I don't tell you because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he'll be like, okay, maybe I should loosen up a bit because I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're both apologizing to each other and trying to find a solution. So that is basically how we try and resolve conflict to the best of our little knowledge.
Okay. One thing that's off script. I want you to take time. 10 seconds, 5 seconds, whatever. Is Mo happy?
I think he is.
No, I say you need to take time.
No, my man's got the biggest smile, like he is. That man is happy, guys. If you've ever met Mo, like, you know that man is happy. I believe that man is happy. I do.
What makes him happy?
What makes him happy?
Besides you. I mean, it's quite obviously going to be you.
What do you mean?
I mean, you know what I mean.
It's so off script. What makes, I think Mo, I've realized Mo appreciates time. Mo appreciates just being able to spend time with the people that he loves and just, time. So I think what makes him happy is just exploring new things together. So traveling together, getting to do new things together. Although in the beginning he complains like, how, and also you're making me do all these funny things. When he gets there, he always admits that I'm having the time of my life. So I think what makes him happy is the fact that I challenge him on certain things that end up showing him a side of himself that he wasn't aware of. So I think the constant doing something new, going somewhere, being somewhere, meeting new people. And I mean, all these cameras are in his house and he's just there like, what's going on? So I think that's what makes him happy, getting to live and live fully with someone.
Tell us about your outfit.
My outfit. Cemetery, Sinatra. That's my favorite wedding song. Okay, so this outfit is from 3 years ago when we got married. Recording this, actually, we're 2 days away from our anniversary. We got married on the 16th of December. So this was one of the dresses that I had to make as I was going to his family. And by tradition, when you go to the family, you need to dress in a certain way. So wearing a seshweshwe, sometimes it's a sign of respect and acknowledging that you're a wife now and you present yourself that way. So this is one of the dresses that I made when I went to his family house. And I remember vividly, it was the day after the wedding and everyone was saying goodbye, and it was the morning, it was rainy because we were in Lesotho. And as my koti duties commenced then and there. And then I had to make tea and coffee for everyone, and I was running around in my chair in my cute little outfit. I was so excited, guys, I don't want to lie. And I was making tea. My parents were also there because it was just after the wedding. And so basically both families were there, and it was such a beautiful day. So this is where this dress comes from, and it still fits. So that's the exciting part. Yes.
Okay, as we close, it's been 3 years. Give us one piece of advice.
Yo, I think I took so long on this video because I'm 3 years in. There's still so much to learn and so much to do, and I just felt like I didn't have anything to offer, right? Because the questions that were coming in from a sense of like sort of seeking advice or seeking a way to look at things. And for me, I was like, I'm still figuring it out. We're still trying to see what's the best way to do things. And sometimes there are moments where we both look at each other and we've stepped on each other's toes and we like, I don't know what to do from here. It's like, I know I forgive you, but I don't know how we're going to make sure this thing does not happen, perhaps, right? So, and this is in essence in relation to how we relate with our different families, like the in-laws and he with my in-laws, and trying to navigate those relationships while also trying to navigate our own relationship. So we're still trying to figure it out and we're still learning. But I would say, I think, the advice I'll give will not be marriage advice, but it will be dating advice before you get married. And I think a realization that I came into is that as people, we seek so much the one. Like the one that is going to package everything and have if at least 80% of the things that we're looking for, you know? But I think the realization that hit me is I started learning to be someone worth loving. So instead of finding someone that has all the things that you want, how about you first become that person, and in essence, you'll attract the right person. And also when the right person arrives, you'll be in the right space to receive them, because you won't feel a level of entitlement to them, but you would have worked on yourself to be healthier. So I would say just work on yourself in terms of being somebody that you would love. Ask yourself, would I be in a relationship with myself? Would I wife myself? Would I hubby myself? And if there's things that tick you off about yourself, work on those things. And then once that marriage finds you, I feel like you'll be at a better place, a healthier place, and a good place to handle it and treat it with the respect it needs.